So for all you freaks out there, basically what we're going to do tonight, got a series of clips lined up to play for you. And then Adamizer Bax and myself, and hopefully you all listening to us will chime in. And, we'll just kind of go through, get through as many as we can. Maybe save some for next week if we don't, or add new ones next week. But pretty much thinking that it would be a good way to kind of introduce some topics here, all sorts of different topics, as opposed to really getting, on one, maybe two topics and spending the entire 2 hours on it. Kind of keeping it more moving along and hitting a bunch of different things. So the first one I wanted to play, actually, a little selfishly, I guess, and just to highlight, it is one of the videos I was talking about, is the Freak Show Shorts. That's out there, is a video I did, I think, during the entire cyst debacle. And as you guys know, I was in a pretty bad mood. So I put out a video called "Fuck You, Mr. President," and specifically for a reason. It's about 6-7 minutes long. I trimmed out about a minute and a half section here, so let's give it a listen, and I'll take your guys' thoughts afterwards. So, fuck you, Mr. President. So I again will concede that you were left with a country barreling towards the edge of a cliff. Your response has been throwing down a banana peel. And let me assure you, Mr. President, I'm only scratching the surface here. And I could continue ad nauseum. However, I believe that there is more than enough to establish the grounds for my crass charge. My fuck you, Mr. President. You see, with those numbers in mind, with the country literally dangling by a thread, I read today that your upcoming vacation to the Vineyard will cost $12 million. $12 million? $12 million fucking dollars? Are you fucking kidding me? Of course, I know you're not. Fuck you, Mr. President. At a time of untold debt, inequality, unemployment, homelessness, and all around just shitty economy for pretty much everyone your entire presidency, you have the balls, the ego, the arrogance to go and spend $12 million of our fucking dollars on 2 fucking weeks vacation? Well, fuck you, Mr. President. Fuck you and the string you rode in on. Well, you obviously know my opinion on the matter. Either of you guys happen to catch our president's vacations plans?
Bax, go ahead.
I didn't until I do subscribe to our own YouTube channel. I'm a glutton for vanity, so I did catch it when you posted it, and what else is there to say? The video is very compelling, and I would recommend it to all our listeners out there. It's a good one. What else can you say, though? $12 million on a vacation.
I guess am I being? I guess my question, like, am I being, silly? Like, am I like, because I've told a couple people, and I've told them I made the video or put it out or whatever, and they're just like, yeah, and it's like, really? Like, this doesn't fucking.
Wasn't that part of the problem, though, that this is so commonplace? This is just, the president's taking a $12 million vacation. Well, that's just normal. why is that okay? Why isn't there more coverage? Is that the question? Because it's a good one if it is. It's bullshit.
Yeah,
I was worried about paying $1,200. $1,200 was worrying the shit out of me on our vacation. So he's spending $12 million. Yeah, it's offensive in many ways for me, and I'm sure a lot of other people.
Right. And I would throw in there this thing, and I'm kind of glad that this got brought up, because the way I look at it, there are three, and I'm going to keep this very brief, but there are three schools of thought on our current administration and our current president. Okay, there is what I would call the Fox News perspective, or the Republican perspective, or the conservative perspective, and people have actually come forward saying that the GOP, the Republicans, the right-wingers, have actually been outright instructed to oppose anything that Obama does, to highlight anything that he does. But when I say oppose anything that he does, regardless of whether it's good for the country or good for the people, okay? There is certainly this mentality of people, of almost half our country out there, blaming every one of their fucking problems, even if it's a problem that was created by Congress, even if it was a problem that had nothing to do with government, on Obama, okay? I'm kind of sick of that bullshit myself. There is another school of thought that is also just as wrong, in my opinion, which is the idea that, hey, everything Obama does is good, because at least he's not Bush, at least he's not, at least he's a Democrat. That's better than the alternative, this whole fucking lesser of two evils bullshit. I don't have any patience for that mentality either. And then I think there's the realistic view that I hope, all of us here at the Freak Show are taking, and all of you out there listening are taking, which is that, hey, this is at best a mixed bag, and probably worse. I mean, you look at $12 million vacations, you look at the Trans-Pacific Partnership, you look at you look at the fact that wealth inequality has only grown under Obama. And, of course, I'm purposely touching on a couple of the videos that we have highlighted for this week's show. The reality here that we're looking at is a president who, if you really look at pre-election Obama versus post-election Obama, probably thought he was going to be able to make a difference, may have had some socialist leanings, at least a little bit. But when he got into that office, he realized he had bosses. And I think a long time ago, he gave up on the current man, on the working man, or woman. I don't want to be sexist about it. But I think that what we're seeing here is evidence, absolutely, that he doesn't give a shit. Nobody takes a $12 million vacation and gives a shit. We're dealing with a lame duck at this point. We're dealing with somebody who, for all intents and purposes, doesn't give a shit about you working to make ends meet, about American jobs, American well-being, which. And hey, I'm anti-nationalist. I think we shouldn't think of things in terms of Americans versus other people. But at the same time, that is his job. His job is to put Americans first. And when you're spending $12 million on a fucking vacation, you're not putting Americans first. It's that simple. I am outraged. I am outraged by that. I'm outraged by the Trans-Pacific Partnership. I'm outraged by the wealth inequality and the fact that for all of his talk and all of his, and I understand, okay, the Republicans have shut down the government over things that he wanted to do that were righteous. At the same time, he has fucking given up at best. If not, he has sold out and sold his fucking soul. And I'm sick of it, and vote Bernie Sanders. That's all I'm going to say.
No, good points. And, like I said, that was just a little portion of the video, and I did bring up, things like the inequality and, a lot of the shortcomings of our current president and, the at least 6 or 7 that preceded him, right? If not everyone for the last 100 years. So, it's funny, though, one of the videos I saw at some point last week, real quick, I thought it was funny about the Fox perspective you were speaking of. Did you guys hear the story about that, I don't know, Ariana or Adriana, this like model actress girl, and she, I guess,
Ariana Grande, is that what you're going for?
I think
Grande.
so. She was like in a donut shop and licked a donut, right? Like, it wasn't her donut. It wasn't even like a sold donut. It was like a donut waiting for sale, and she just licked it, and which was kind of weird by itself. And then, she, like, the cameras were on her, obviously, so she licks the donut and then says, "I hate America," right? And so Fox played this clip, and that's how I heard the story, instantly turned, well, why does a girl, successful, young, beautiful, why does a girl like that say something like that? And, of course, the answer was Barack Obama. Right? Basically, it was Obama has so polarized the American people that now our 21-year-old millionaire actresses feel the need to say they hate America. So, yeah, that's where it's gotten to with regards to Fox. And,
but she apologized.
Agree.
She issued a public apology.
For licking the donut or for hating America?
For hating America. I don't know if it was America or Americans, but Rob Lowe was pissed, by the way.
Rob Lowe. She issued the apology because she doesn't want her album sales to fall off. But, hey, I think she had a moment of truth and reality there. And whether you aim that anger at the president or whether you aim that anger at the Congress or whether you aim that anger at, all of the people of America who are lying down and taking this bullshit, fuck yeah. I mean, in a lot of ways, and I've said this before in past things, there are reasons justifiably in the right context to say, yes, I fucking hate America.
But let's be clear that she used this as a platform to springboard her concern for the eating habits of America's youth and Americans in general. So part of her reasoning for saying I hate Americans had to do with the wastefulness of Americans and the culture.
Right, and what, the wastefulness I don't necessarily disagree with, but I think she was also trying to touch on the gluttony and the eating of, again, donuts versus vegetables and so on and so forth. Now, my general take on that is, hey, it would be great if we lived in a society that didn't use an economic system where it was a lot easier to sell a fucking greasy hamburger or a fucking cookie than it was to sell a vegetable. But at the same time, I'm not a vegetarian by any stretch of the imagination. In fact, my ancestors, Native Americans, they had a word for vegetarian, supposed to be their word for bad hunter.
This chick's an idiot. You're giving her way too much credit, and I don't know if you're a member of her fan club, because if you are, then this is unfair. This is unfair promotion of Ariana Grande. Let me just say, and I don't know if you hate Rob Lowe. Now, you may hate Rob Lowe, and that might be the driving force, but this chick is you are giving her far too much credit.
I don't mean to give her far too much credit, nor do I necessarily hate Rob Lowe. I'm not even looking at it on a personal basis. I'm just looking at the statement in general. Are we gluttons? Yeah. Are we a society of wrong values? Absolutely. I don't disagree with that now. But I can't disagree with your fact that she was self-promoting, and that's probably what it was all about, and she didn't really give a shit about anybody. You're probably right.
So it will move on, but I just have one question. Now, which Rob Lowe got angry? Was it cable Rob Lowe, or was it DirecTV Rob Lowe? Do we know?
Do what?
You mean, did he swear?
Crickets, huh?
I didn't.
It was just a joke, fellas.
Oh,
it was commercials there with the "Don't be that Rob Lowe, be this Rob Lowe."
Oh yeah, didn't Rob Lowe have sex with a minor way back in the day?
Oh yeah, he videotaped it and everything.
Okay, I thought so. Yeah, there's I think people have forgotten about the pedophile Rob Lowe. He's a sex offender, right?
Yes. Yeah. Don't be like
that, Rob Lowe, for sure. Yeah.
Right.
Okay, sorry. Let's move on. Move on.
And we'll move on. But, my last point, and I didn't realize how the conversation this would turn into, but, have you walked into a Dunkin' Donuts recently or over the past year? It's fucking unbelievable what they are calling donuts now. Like, there's, bacon-wrapped donuts and, donuts.
Triple chocolate, man. I love the triple chocolate. I don't get many luxuries living up in the woods, but every once in a while, and don't get me wrong, I hate the fucking labor exploitation of places like Dunkin' Donuts, McDonald's, etc. But my wife brings me a triple chocolate donut or one of those fucking sausage McMuffins with extra cheese. All right, I'll eat it. Fuck it.
No, but my point was they're taking the donut to they're stuffing Peeps on them, fucking full chocolate bars with whipped cream and it's like, Jesus Christ, the donut was bad enough, and now you're, it's just amazing, man. Just
you have to hear yourself getting fatter. That's what's important. If you can hear yourself getting fatter when you eat it, that's how you know it's some good shit, man.
Yeah. I mean, hey, Crafty likes a good donut as much as the next guy. But, all right.
Can hear my blood flowing.
I think we've spent far too much time on that.